My child, listen carefully. I made a very serious decision about you, and you cannot afford to ignore this moment. What I am about to reveal is not something distant or uncertain. It is already in motion, already shaping the direction of your life in ways you do not yet fully understand. This is not random. You were brought here because this decision concerns you personally, deeply, and urgently. You may not feel ready to hear this. You may even feel a quiet hesitation rising inside you, as if something within you knows this moment carries weight. That feeling is not your imagination. It is your spirit recognizing that something significant is unfolding right now. I need you to stay with me, because what has been decided about you will change how you see everything, your past, your pain, and even what is about to come next. For a long time, you have been walking through confusion, wondering why things have not made sense, why doors have closed, why certain people left, and why the weight on your heart has felt heavier than usual. You question whether you were overlooked, whether your efforts mattered, whether anyone truly saw the battles you were fighting in silence. But my child, while you were questioning, I was deciding. While you were struggling, I was preparing something that required perfect timing. This decision was not made lightly. It was not based on your failures, your doubts, or the moments you felt like giving up. It was made because I see what you cannot see. I see the strength you carry beneath your exhaustion. I see the faith that still flickers even when you feel empty. I see the parts of you that the world ignored but I never did. And because of that, I chose something for you that will not only shift your path, but will redefine it. Right now, you are standing on the edge of something you cannot yet fully comprehend. And the reason this moment feels different, the reason your heart feels slightly unsettled as you read this is because deep down, you know this is not just words. This is a turning point. Do not dismiss this. Do not scroll past this. Because the decision I made about you is already unfolding, and whether you recognize it or not will determine what happens next. My child, stop for a moment. Do not scroll away. Do not let your attention drift. Not now. This moment requires your full presence because what is unfolding right now is not something you can return to later. I am speaking to you in a way that is intentional, precise, and urgent, and if you miss this, you may not recognize it again when it passes. Stay with me. I know your mind is busy. I know there are thoughts pulling at you, distractions trying to take you away, telling you this is just another message, just another moment you can come back to later. But that is not true. This is different. You feel it, even if you cannot explain it. There is a weight to these words, a quiet pressure in your spirit that is asking you to pause and listen. That is not by accident. Do not ignore that feeling. My child, I need you to understand something clearly. This moment was arranged with purpose. Out of all the moments in your day, out of all the things you could have been doing, you were brought here, to this exact second, to hear this. That means something. That carries significance you cannot afford to overlook. You have been asking for clarity, for direction, for a sign that something in your life is about to change. And now that you are being given that moment, you must not turn away from it. Do not rush this. Slow down your thoughts. Quiet the noise around you, even if only for a few moments. Let everything else wait. Because what I am about to reveal to you is directly connected to the decision that has already been made about your life. If you move too quickly, if you treat this lightly, if you allow yourself to be distracted the way you have been before, you may miss the very thing you have been waiting for. And you have waited long enough. You have spent so much time searching, trying to understand why things have felt delayed, why answers have not come when you expected them, why you have felt stuck between where you are and where you thought you would be. You have carried questions inside you that no one else could answer. Questions that kept you awake at night. Questions that made you doubt yourself, your path, even your purpose. This moment is connected to those questions. That is why I am asking you, no, I am telling you, stay here. Do not leave. Do not treat this as something optional. Because this is not just a message you are hearing, this is a moment you are stepping into. And moments like this do not come without reason. You may feel a resistance inside you right now. A part of you that wants to pull away, that feels uncomfortable staying here too long, that wants to return to distractions, to noise, to anything that keeps you from going deeper. That resistance is not random. It is the part of you that has grown used to avoiding what matters most. But not this time. This time, you must stay. Because what is being revealed to you is not surface level. It goes deeper than what you have allowed yourself to face. And I know you are tired. I know you have been carrying more than you should. I know there are parts of your heart that feel too heavy to even look at. But this is exactly why you cannot walk away right now. This concerns you more than you realize. There are things shifting around you that you cannot yet see. There are decisions already set in motion that are about to intersect with your life. And if you are not attentive, if you are not present, if you are not willing to listen fully, you may not recognize what is happening when it begins. So I am calling you to stillness. Right here, right now. Let your guard down. Let your attention settle. Let your spirit become aware of this moment instead of rushing past it. Because you are not here by mistake, and you are not hearing this by chance. Stay with me, my child. Because what comes next, you need to hear it. My child, I see what you have been carrying, even the things you have never said out loud. I see the weight behind your silence, the exhaustion you try to hide behind your daily routine, the quiet moments when everything slows down and the truth begins to surface. You have been tired in a way that sleep cannot fix. Not just physically, but deep within your soul. You have been trying to hold everything together while something inside you feels like it is slowly falling apart. I know how confusing it has been for you. One moment you try to stay strong, convincing yourself that things will get better, and the next moment you feel overwhelmed without fully understanding why. You question your own emotions. You wonder why you feel so heavy, why your heart feels distant, why peace seems so temporary. And in those moments, you feel alone even when people are around you. But you are not alone in this. I saw the nights when your thoughts would not quiet down. When you lay there, staring into the darkness, replaying everything that went wrong, everything you wish you could change, everything you do not understand. I heard the questions you never spoke. Why is this happening to me? Why do I feel like this? When will it finally change? My child, I heard every one of those questions. I saw the moments when you smiled in front of others, pretending you were okay, pretending you were not carrying so much inside. You have become so used to hiding your pain that even you have started to forget how heavy it truly is. You tell yourself to keep going, to not break down, to stay strong no matter what. But inside, you have been longing for relief, longing for something to finally ease the pressure. You have been giving so much of yourself to others while feeling empty within. You have been trying to meet expectations, trying to keep up, trying to not fall behind, trying to prove something yet still feeling like it is never enough. That feeling of not enough has followed you quietly, shaping how you see yourself, how you move, how you think. And it has been exhausting. I know there have been moments when you felt forgotten. Moments when it seemed like everyone else was moving forward while you felt stuck in the same place, carrying the same emotions, facing the same struggles. You wondered if something was wrong with you. You wondered if you missed your chance, if you made the wrong decisions, if things would ever truly shift in your favor. But my child, nothing about your struggle has gone unnoticed. Every tear you held back, I saw it. Every time your heart felt heavy for no clear reason, I understood it. Every moment you felt like giving up but still kept going, I was there. You may have felt unseen, but you were never invisible to me. You have been fighting battles that no one else fully understands. Battles within your mind, within your heart, within your spirit. And because no one else could see them clearly, you carried them alone. You learned how to function while hurting, how to move forward while feeling lost, how to keep going even when your strength felt like it was fading. But I know the truth. You have been overwhelmed. You have been confused. You have been lonely in ways you could not explain. And you have been waiting for something to change, for something to make sense, for something to finally bring you peace. And that waiting has worn you down. But listen to me carefully now, my child. The way you feel right now is not a weakness. It is not a failure. It is the result of carrying too much for too long without the release you needed. And I have seen it all. I have been there in every moment you thought you were facing it alone. You are understood. Even in your silence, even in your confusion, even in your exhaustion, I understand you completely. My child, listen closely now, because what you have been through was never meaningless, even if it felt that way while you were living through it. I know there were moments when everything seemed to fall apart without explanation. Moments when you asked yourself why things had to happen the way they did, why certain doors closed, why certain people walked away, why the timing never seemed to align with your hopes. But what you saw as confusion I will use in as preparation. That delay you struggled to understand, it was not rejection. It was protection. You thought you were being held back, but in truth, you were being held together. There were paths you wanted to walk down that would have drained you, broken you in ways you were not ready to face. And so I stepped in, not to punish you, but to preserve you. You may not have seen it then, but you were being redirected. That loss that shook you, that moment when something or someone you held on to slipped out of your life, you thought it was the end of something important. You felt the emptiness it left behind, the silence that followed, the questions that had no answers. But my child, what left your life was not taken from you without reason. It was removed because it could not go where you are being led. You were not abandoned, you were being aligned. I know it did not feel that way. I know it hurt deeply. I know there were days when you replayed those moments over and over, trying to understand what you could have done differently, wondering if you were the reason things fell apart. But the truth is, some things had to fall apart so that you would not build your future on something unstable. You were being protected from what you could not yet see. Even the mistakes you regret, the decisions you wish you could undo, I did not waste those either. You have been carrying guilt, questioning yourself, wondering if you ruined something that could have been right. But listen carefully, your mistakes did not disqualify you. They refined you. They showed you what you needed to learn, what you needed to grow, what you needed to release. Nothing you went through was outside of my awareness. Every setback, every disappointment, every moment that made you feel like you were moving backward instead of forward, it all had a purpose that is only now beginning to take shape. You were not stuck, you were being shaped in ways that required time, pressure, and patience. You were being prepared for something greater than what you were settling for. I know there were times when you felt like giving up. Times when the weight of everything made you question if it was even worth continuing. You felt like you were putting in effort without seeing results, holding on without understanding why, hoping without evidence that things would change. But even in those moments you were growing. You were becoming stronger in ways that cannot be measured by what you see on the surface. You were learning endurance, resilience, discernment. You were being taught how to stand even when everything around you felt uncertain. And though it felt like you were losing time, you were actually being positioned. Positioned for what is ahead. My child, nothing in your past was wasted. Not the pain, not the confusion, not the waiting, not even the moments you wish never happened. I have taken every piece of it and woven it into something that is now leading you toward a different outcome than you expected. And this is why the decision I made about you carries so much weight. Because it is not based on who you were in your lowest moments, it is based on who you have become through them. You are not the same person you were before those struggles. You have been changed, shaped, and prepared, even if you do not fully recognize it yet. So do not look back at your past with regret anymore. Look at it with understanding. Because everything you went through was leading you here. My child, listen to me now with complete focus, because what I am about to say carries urgency you cannot ignore. Something is shifting around you, and this is not a small or distant change. It is already happening. It has already begun. The decision I made about you is no longer waiting. It is unfolding, moving toward you, aligning moments, people, and circumstances in ways you cannot yet fully see. Something is coming. You have felt it deep within yourself, even if you tried to dismiss it. That quiet uneasiness, that subtle awareness that something in your life is about to change. You have tried to continue as normal, to move through your days as if everything is the same, but inside, there has been a stirring. A sense that time is tightening. A sense that something important is approaching. That feeling is not random. That is your spirit recognizing the shift before your eyes can see it. My child, time is not as open as you think. You have been living as though there will always be another chance, another opportunity, another moment to respond, to listen, to align yourself with what I am doing. But I need you to understand this clearly. Moments like this are not endless. They are precise. They are chosen. And when they arrive, they must be taken seriously. Do not ignore this, because what is happening around you right now is not ordinary. There are things being set into motion that will directly affect your path. Doors are preparing to open, but not all doors remain open forever. Opportunities are forming, but not all opportunities wait patiently. There are alignments taking place, connections being arranged, and outcomes being prepared, and your awareness in this moment will determine how you step into them. You cannot remain passive anymore. You have spent too long waiting without understanding. Waiting for signs, waiting for clarity, waiting for something to confirm that you should move forward. But now the confirmation is here. Now the moment is present. And if you continue to hesitate, if you continue to delay, you risk standing still while everything around you begins to move. This is why I am speaking to you with urgency. Not to create fear, but to awaken you. Because there is a difference between being present and being aware. You have been present in your life, but not fully aware of what is happening beneath the surface. And now, awareness is required. Now, attention is required. Now, you must recognize that you are standing at the edge of something that cannot be entered casually. Something is shifting. The season you have been in, the confusion, the waiting, the heaviness, is reaching its end. You may not see the full picture yet, but the transition has already begun. And transitions require readiness. They require you to let go of the mindset that kept you stuck, the distractions that kept you distant, and the hesitation that kept you from stepping forward. You cannot carry those things into what is coming. If you ignore this moment, if you treat this like every other time you felt a pull and chose to look away, you may not recognize what is unfolding when it arrives. You may miss what was meant for you simply because you were not paying attention when it mattered most. And my child, I do not want you to miss this. It is why I am calling you now, more clearly than before. That is why there is urgency in these words, wait in this moment, and a pull in your spirit that you cannot easily ignore. Because this is not just about what is coming, it is about whether you are ready to receive it. You cannot afford to stay distracted. You cannot afford to stay unaware. You cannot afford to keep moving as if nothing is changing. Because everything is changing. Something has already been decided. Something has already been set in motion. And now you are standing at the edge of it, whether you realize it or not. Do not turn away now. This moment matters more than you think. Do not ignore this. My child, this moment is not like the others you have passed through. This is not just another message, not just another pause in your day. This is your turning point. Right here, right now, something has aligned in a way that does not happen often, and you were brought into it for a reason. You did not arrive here by accident. Out of all the moments in your life, out of all the distractions that could have taken your attention, you are here present treating these words at this exact time. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. That is intention. That is the result of everything you have been through, leading you to this precise point where something within you is finally ready to shift. This moment matters. You have had many moments before where you felt a pull, where you sensed something deeper trying to reach you, but you were not ready. Life was too loud. Your heart was too guarded. Your mind was too distracted. And so those moments passed without you fully stepping into them. But this time is different. This time, you are aware. You can feel it in the stillness around you. You can sense it in the weight of these words. There is something about this moment that feels heavier, more real, more direct. It is as if everything has slowed down just enough for you to notice what has always been there. That is not random. That is because this is your moment to respond. My child, you are standing at a crossroads right now. Not a visible one, not something you can point to with your eyes, but something real within your spirit. One path leads you back into the same patterns, distraction, delay, uncertainty. The other path leads you forward into what has already been decided for you, into the shift that has already begun. And the difference between those two paths is your awareness in this moment. You cannot stay the same after this. Something inside you is being stirred, awakened, called forward. And once you feel that, once you recognize it, you cannot pretend it is not there. You cannot return to being unaware. This is what makes this moment so important, because it changes how you see everything that comes next. This is your invitation. Not forced, not demanded, but placed directly in front of you. An invitation to step out of what has been holding you back and into what has been prepared for you. But invitations must be accepted. They cannot be ignored without consequence. They cannot be delayed without cost. And this is why I am speaking so clearly to you now. Because you have reached the point where waiting is no longer enough. Understanding is no longer enough. Feeling is no longer enough. Now, you must respond. Not with fear, not with doubt, but with awareness. My child, this moment is where everything begins to shift. Not because everything around you suddenly changes, but because something within you decides to change. That decision, that internal shift, is what unlocks everything that has already been set in motion for you. You have been waiting for the right time. This is it. You have been asking for a sign. Is it? You have been hoping for clarity. Is it? You not overlook it because it does not look dramatic. You not ignore it because it feels quiet. The most important shifts do not always come with noise. They come with clarity, with stillness, with a deep knowing that something is different. And something is different right now. You are not the same person who started reading this. You are more aware, more present, more open than you were before. And that is exactly what was needed for this moment to reach you the way it was meant to. So stay here. Stay present. Do not rush past this turning point the way you have rushed past others before. Because this one carries something the others did not. This one is aligned. This one is chosen. This one is yours. And what you do with this moment will shape what happens next. My child, listen to me now with your whole heart, because what you have been waiting for is no longer distant, no longer delayed, no longer out of reach. The shift you have been sensing is real. The change you could not explain is not your imagination. And the decision I made about you is now beginning to reveal itself in ways that will touch every part of your life. Your breakthrough is already beginning. Even if you cannot see it yet with your eyes, it is already moving. Not everything that changes announces itself loudly. Some of the most powerful transformations begin quietly, beneath the surface, in places you cannot measure. And right now, that is exactly where your life is being transformed. Things are shifting in your favor. The heaviness that followed you for so long is starting to lose its hold. The confusion that clouded your thoughts is beginning to clear, even if only in small moments. The delays that made you question everything are no longer standing still. They are turning into movement. What once felt blocked is beginning to respond. What once felt distant is beginning to come closer. You are not where you used to be, and you must recognize that. Because if you continue to see yourself through the same lens of doubt, if you continue to believe that nothing has changed, you will miss the evidence of what is already unfolding around you. My child, you have already crossed into a new space internally, even if your external world has not fully caught up yet. That is how transformation begins. I am bringing healing into your life, not temporary relief, not something that fades the moment pressure returns, but deep healing that reaches into the places you have avoided, the places you have hidden, the places you thought could never truly be restored. I'm bringing peace, not the kind that depends on everything going perfectly, but the kind that settles within you even when life feels uncertain. A steady peace, a grounding presence, something that holds you together instead of slipping away when you need it most. I am bringing restoration. What you thought was lost is not beyond reach. What you believed was broken beyond repair is not beyond renewal. There are things being realigned for you that you cannot yet fully understand, but you will see them. You will feel them. You will recognize that something real has changed. But my child, this is the moment where you must respond. You cannot remain passive while everything is moving toward you. You cannot stay silent when your spirit is being called forward. This is where your voice matters. This is where your agreement matters. This is where you step out of hesitation and into alignment. I am not asking you for perfection. I am not asking you to have every answer. I am not asking you to suddenly become someone different overnight. I am asking you for something simple but powerful. Your yes. Your willingness to receive what is already being given. Your decision to not turn away from what you feel in this moment. So I want you to do something right now, not later, not after you finish, not when you feel more ready, but right now, while this moment is still alive within you. Say it. Type it. Declare it. Amen. Or say, I believe. Do not underestimate what that means. These are not just words. This is your alignment. This is your agreement with what has already been set in motion for you. This is your way of saying, I am here. I am listening. I am ready. My child, when you speak, you are not just responding. You are stepping forward. You are choosing to move with what is already moving toward you instead of standing still in doubt. This is your moment to believe again, your moment to receive again, your moment to step into what has already been decided about you, because everything you have been waiting for is no longer waiting. It is here. It is moving. And now it is waiting for your response. My child, do not ignore this moment. Do not walk away now as you have done before. You have come too far, felt too much, and endured too deeply to turn your back at the very edge of what is about to unfold in your life. This is not just another message you can forget tomorrow. This is not just another feeling that will fade. This moment carries weight, and what you choose to do with it will echo into what comes next. Stay connected, because something has already begun, even if you cannot fully see it yet. The shift is real. The decision has already been made. And now, everything is quietly aligning around you, preparing to reveal what has been held back until now. You may not understand every detail. You may still have questions. But you do not need full understanding to stay present. You only need to not walk away. My child, I am with you closer than you realize. Even in your confusion, even in your hesitation, even in the parts of you that still feel uncertain. I have not left you. I have not forgotten you. And I will not abandon you now, especially not when you are standing at the beginning of something that has your name written on it. But listen carefully. Do not return to distraction. Do not silence what you feel right now. Do not convince yourself that this moment was not important, because it is. And if you ignore it, if you step away and go back to the noise, you risk missing the very thing you have been waiting for. Not because it will disappear, but because you may not recognize it when it arrives. This is why I am calling you to stay aware. Stay close. Stay open. Because this is not the end, this is only the beginning. There is more that is about to unfold. More that you will understand. More that will be revealed in ways you do not expect. And what you are feeling right now, this quiet pull, this deep sense that something is different, it is leading you somewhere. Do not lose it. Hold on to this moment, because what comes next will depend on it. My child, as this message settles into your spirit, understand this: what is being poured into you is not meant to stop with you. It is meant to flow like a river, reaching hearts that are still lost, still searching, still crying out in silence. When you choose to give, you are not supporting a channel. You are sowing seeds into souls, into lives that are waiting for light to find them. As it is written, give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is not just a verse. It is my promise speaking over you now. I am placing this invitation in your heart. I feel called to help this message reach someone who needs it. When you give through the PayPal link in the description, or through the QR code placed before you, you are stepping into a divine act of obedience. You are opening the heavens over your life through generosity that carries eternal impact. Do not delay this moment. What you release will return to you multiplied, in peace, in favor, in unseen protection, and in blessings you cannot yet imagine. Step into this now. Sow with faith. Act with purpose,